Hi guys, welcome to this little overview for my new pack, Slammin Future House. This is a pack for Vesper's Warp Academy, so if you haven't heard about it, please head over to Warp Academy's site and check all the demo songs for it, because this pack contains 5 full Ableton Live sets, which are basically 5 full songs, Future House songs. Plus, it contains 109 individual operator patches or presets and 65 racks containing effects, layered synth patches, and I try to use up all the macros for these racks and for the mastering racks and other stuff. So basically, you will find in this pack a lot of operator patches. So if you are afraid of operator, because it is a very advanced synthesizer using FM and additive and subtractive synthesis, let me suggest you to purchase the pack, because I'm sure you will be able to learn a lot from these patches. Even if you are not into Future House, I'm sure it will be very, very good learning source for you. But let's dig a little deeper into the song. This is the first song, what you will be able to check on the Warp Academy site. It contains several groups for effects, drums, music, and drop bass. This track is not for this pack. I just use it to record my voice. Anyway, so for the effects rack, you will find several tracks. For the effects group, you will find several tracks containing mostly operator patches, but in some of the cases, I recorded the sound of the operators and tried to, just reverse it and try other gated effects and like, I don't know, like time stretching stuff. And this is why you will probably find some samples in the FX group and other groups too, mostly in drums. But here we are, for example, this sweep, because, don't mind these groups. Everything is grouped in an instrument group, and this is a very good advantage if I want to use macros, for easier access. So every instrument will be grouped. If you purchase the pack, you will see that. But if you open it up using this little button, you can tweak everything individually. But if you don't want that, you can use the macros, which is very cool. So for example, here we have these sweeps. So you have instant control for the filter resonance, the spread, the stereo spread, chorus effect, HP cutoff for, I think this is an HP, okay. It is here, HP cutoff. Some reverb, dry per vet amount, reverb tail length in seconds, or delay, dry per vet knob, and the multiband compression for the whole stuff. This is very great to tweak the sound. And for example, we have this riser. Very nice. So if you open it up, you will see that this is an operator riser with some chorus, flanger effects, and a reverb. Very easy stuff, but I'm sure you will be able to find these handy. For the drums, I would like to, well, in most of the cases, I like to synthesize all my drum sounds, especially kicks, snares, claps, percussion sounds, and in some of the cases, the hi-hats too. But hi-hats and crashes and rides are very hard to be synthesized. I've been, spending a lot of time to find the best settings for hi-hats and especially long hi-hats like crashes and rides. But it is really hard. It is really hard to make them sound, natural, not digital and bad sounding stuff. So this is why I use some samples here too, especially for the hi-hats, crashes, another hi-hat. But most of the sounds, the rest of the sounds, the kicks, claps, percussions, these effects, zap and meow sound, toms, are all synthesized using operator. So this is a great learning source for you if you don't know how to synthesize a tom or a kick or a clap or anything. Let me show you, for example, the kick for this track, for this project. I use 2 layers, one for the tummy layer. Let me just trigger it using my keyboard. So the kick contains 2 layers, one for the tummy and one for the transient plus the hi-hat. While the tummy layer itself contains some transient, but never mind that. You can tweak every parameter to fine-tune your kick drum, even for the note of the track, or even for the, for the tone of your track, if you want to avoid fighting the bass and the kicks each other. And another cool thing here, which is happening in the intro, I modulated this this pitch envelope for the kick, and added some effects. I believe a grain delay, yeah, because what I wanted to achieve now is a nice build-up effects for it. Let me show you, only for the kick drum. Let me solo the kick. One more time. So the only stuff which is happening here is I modulated the pitch envelope and added a grain delay to create a nice, interesting effect. So this is a really nice idea to create unique build-ups. And let's check the clap. It still contains 2 layers, one for the noise and one for the transient or the body of the clap. Everything is coming from operator. And you can go through the rest of the sound, like this percussion sound here, the toms, what I already showed you. So I recommend you to dig deeper into these racks and just make your own sounds, tweaking the knobs. And we have this music group here, which contains basically every music sound, like synths, steps, plugs, even pianos, which are very essential for EDM-ish, future housey stuff and tracks. So just let's go quickly over them. The first layer here is our main synth layer. I like to use a different operator for the transients. Sometimes it is a lot, it sounds a lot better if you have some click, some very, very heavy transient on the synth sounds, especially on steps. We have a super saw layer. We have a bass for this whole I don't know what this synth step section, which is very simple. Basically, I believe it's only a saw modulated by a noise. Some saturator, plus a piano layer, which is from the factory bank of Ableton Live, which comes, I believe, for every version. Even if you have the light version of Live, this piano comes with it too. And of course, an operator layer to fatten up the piano sound. Plug. This plug Post Pro contains some other effects to make the sound a lot more airy, like delays, reverb, and an EQ. All of them can be controlled via these macro knobs. But the sound itself contains 3 layers. A sample layer, which is a percussion sound, metally sounding percussion sound. And another transient, because as I said before, I like to use different transient for the sounds. It's easier instead just, use very heavy compression and some saturator to cut the transient, the click of the sound, and it will probably just ruin everything. This is why I like to use a different transient, and the operator is the best tool for it. Okay, so this was the first block, and we have the second block, which is the main melody here. This is only one operator. And I use a 3-band split here, which is basically a band splitting instrument rack, or this is an effect rack, not an instrument rack. And I use different effects on the different layers of the top layer, middle and bottom. It's a really nice stuff here. Comes with the pack, very handy stuff. I use this all the time. And some other effects like a saturator, a filter delay, reverb, very basic stuff. But you can still tweak the whole sound using the macros. A nice string. And the vocal lead sound, which is a sample here, dropped into a sampler. And it can create a very nice background for your drop and for your melody part. So all together, sounding very nice. And let's go to the drop, which is the same basically. One instrument rack for the main operator patch, which contains 4 layers here, and one post pro, which are basically the effects, like the same before. Delays, saturator, flanger, but there is no reverb here. You can add it if you want, of course, anytime. You can tweak the delays, the saturator, boost up high, or cut the low mids. Let's add some flangering effect. So it's a really nice tool to tweak. As well as these knobs here, which will tweak the overall sound, overall timbre of the main bass, the drop bass here. One more thing to show you is the mastering rack. I have a compressor, an EQ, a saturator, and limiter. To be honest, I don't like to over-compress my tracks, and this is what I try to achieve here. Some very slight compression on the master, because I like to, compress or tweak the whole groups for drums and basses and musics and other instruments and for other instruments. And on the master, I don't like to use too much effects and too much compression, and this is what I try to follow here. So just slight compression, EQ, boost up a little on the mids, saturator and limiter, but all of them can be controlled via these knobs, the macro knobs, which I'm sure you know. This mastering rack basically just boost up a little on the volume on the master. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, this little overview on my pack. Please head over to Warp Academy's site and purchase the pack. Thank you and see you next time, guys. Bye bye.